Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I will introduce you to the like operator. The like operator basically is used to match pattern in a column. It is used to query data by using pattern matching technique. It is used with the where clause to search and match specified patterns in a column. It is also used in combination with wildcards, and the two common wildcards that are used with the like operator are the percent wildcard that allows you to match string of any length or characters including 0. So when you're using the percent in combination with the like operator, the percent sign actually represents 0, 1 or more multiple characters. So that percent can represent a 0, 1 or multiple characters including 0. The other wildcard that is used with the like operator is the underscore. The underscore actually is used to match a single character. It represents a single character. Just to recap, the like operator is used in the where clause to search for a specified pattern in a column. Let's take a look at the syntax. Syntax represents how you would structure a like operator with your queries. So this is a simple syntax whereby you select your column names if you're choosing columns. If not, you can use all the column by using an asterisk. You specify the table name, and then inside the where clause is where you, after the column, you specify the like pattern, the pattern you are trying to match. The best way to show you this is to actually see it in action. So I'm going to head over to my PostgreSQL tool and experiment with one of the tables in our sample database. I have logged into my PostgreSQL 4 and I'm going to use the DVD rental sample database. This database here. And it has 15 tables. I'm just going to expand and look for the table I'm going to use. I'm going to use the customer table here. Let me expand that so you can see the columns in the table. So these are all the columns. It's got 10 columns inside the customers tables. Suppose the manager of a store ask you to find a customer that he does not remember the name exactly. He just remembers that the customer's first name begins with something like a J or Jen. How do you find the exact customer that the store manager is asking for? You may find the customer in the customer table by looking at the first name column to see if there's any value that begins with Jen. Again, this can be tedious, and depending on how large the data in the table is, it can be time consuming. The best way to search for that kind of information is to use the like operator. So let's open up the query editor, right click on the table name and click query tool to launch the query window. Once the query window launches, we can begin writing our queries. Give it a few minutes. All right, we're not going to use all the columns from the table. Remember, the query is basically to find a customer whose name begins with Jen, Jen. That's all the store manager can remember. Not quite sure the full name. Just all he remembers is that it begins with a Jen, Jen. So what I'm going to do is select, and I'm going to pick the first name column a comma, followed by the last name column. And when you are specifying columns, make sure you specify the way they've been defined in the table. As you can see, my first name matches the first name here, last name matches the last name there. Next thing I need is specify the name of the table. It's called customer. And then next thing I need to do is specify the where clause. And inside the where clause, this is where I apply the condition. I specify the column first where I'm trying to search for the pattern. So it's going to be the first name, because all the manager remembers that the first name begins with something like Jen. So I'm going to specify the first name column, and then I'll introduce the like operator. I'll say like, because it's a string, I need to enclose it in quotes, and then insert a wildcard, a percentage wildcard. Actually, the percentage has to come before the ending quote. So this is how you would structure that. When you're searching for a pattern in a column, if you're searching for a pattern that begins with something, the percentage is placed at the end here of the pattern you're trying to search for. If you are searching for a pattern that ends in something, the percentage will be in front of the character pattern you're trying to search for. Because I'm searching for a first name that starts or looks like JEN, the percentage is placed at the end of the character I'm searching for. So let's give that a go and see what we get. So I'm going to click on this here to execute the query. And as you can see, we've got 3 rows from that table. And as you can see, they all begin with Jen. We've got Jennifer, we've got Jenny, and we've got Jenny. So from this data, the manager should be able to spot the customer he was trying to look for. So that's basically how you use a like operator. So you can use that to search for different types of pattern as well. If, for example, you wanted to search for someone whose first name, begins with A, again, you can change that from Jen to A, and it will search for everyone whose name begins with the A. There you go. See, it searches, that's the pattern. And this is everyone whose name begins with the A. Okay, so you can change that. If I move the percentage from the beginning to the end, from the end here to the front, what this is saying is that search the pattern for anyone whose first name ends with the letter A. So let me search that. So this will be searching for anyone. Oh, there's no one whose first name ends with the letter A. How about B? Let's try B. No one with a B? Okay. Let's try lowercase a. Oh, yep. Okay, we've got a lowercase a. So these are people whose names end with the lowercase a. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how the like operator works in combination with a wildcard. You can also use the like operator with the underscore. When you use it with the underscore, it will search for a pattern and it only searches one character. So using an underscore will only match a single character in the pattern you are trying to match. So let's see how that works. Say, for example, I want to search for a pattern in the first name that, and I put in the underscore followed by her and then a %. So basically what this means is that I'm looking for a character, one character that you can add to this, and it will form part of a name. So the character you add here will combine with this her, to form a name of a person, the first name. So let's see how that works. Let me run that. And you can see here the pattern is returned 4. If you add C, which is a single character here, it turns this into Cheryl. So the pattern I'm trying to match is this HEROS, trying to match that with one character. As you can see, I've done that with the C, I've done that with the T, I've done that with the S, and here as well. So we just want a character, single character that will match these 3 letters, that ends in these 3 letters. As you can see here, I've done the match. So that's how you use the underscore to match a single character in a sequence. So that is it for the like operator. I do apologize, this lecture is taking a bit longer than I expected, but I hope it has made sense. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.